it's Lan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about my current diet. I mean, I bet no one really cares, but I just wanted to talk about my current diet and what I'm doing and how I'm eating and stuff of that sort. I am still trying to figure out my life and how I want the setup to be, but I've been super busy with my job the past couple weeks, so I haven't had time. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started on my current diet. Okay, so first things first, I don't know if it's necessarily like a diet. I've never been on any type of diet because number one, I hate that word, and number two, what are you supposed to do after a diet? Like, you know how like when people go on like Jenny Craig and stuff? So what happens when it ends? No one knows. It's still a mystery. So anyway, so when I started my weight loss journey, I just decided to do smaller portions. I was still eating, a ton of animal products, and I've been eating animal products for years and years and years. I just started eating it in smaller portions. So my diet before, I would eat a huge breakfast. Like I'm talking about eggs and meat and rice and all that good stuff. But I would eat a super small lunch. So I would have like a fruit or a yogurt or something like that. And then for dinner, I would have a completely carbless dinner. So it would usually be lettuce and salad and all of that, but with a protein. And usually I used to put cheese in my salads. So I did that for like, not even kidding you, for like 10 years up until now. So back in January, I ran across a few vegan YouTubers, bloggers, and all that stuff, and I started watching them more and more, and just to see how vegans eat, just because I've always been really into like what other people are eating and people's diets and stuff like that. And so I ran across a few vegan YouTubers, and I just kept watching them. There's just something like very satisfying about watching it. And then in January, I started cutting out certain animal products. Like the first thing I cut out was milk, just because that's like something super easy for me, like milk and cheese. All dairy products, because I didn't really grow up with dairy anyway, because in Asian culture, we don't really do a lot of dairy at all. So that was like super easy for me to cut out. I went straight to plant-based milk, and I started having my coffee that way. And then I was still eating, meat and stuff. And then months go by. So by about March, I started experimenting more with beans and tofu and all that stuff, and just having like one meatless meal a day. One meatless meal a day. So my breakfast wouldn't have any meat. So that's when I started doing acai bowls. I started doing the green smoothies in the morning and all that stuff. And I felt really full and satisfied when I was eating, when I was eating like these meatless meals. And I was like, oh, can a vegan diet be sustainable, or a vegetarian diet be sustainable? So then afterwards, I started doing meatless days, where I would just completely not eat any meat or any dairy product for that whole day, and once again, it was fine. But the thing was, I was still feeling hungry because I still was skipping lunch. So I just wouldn't eat like a big lunch, and so I was constantly like hungry, but I didn't know how to feel. Like I was hungry, and then I woke up bloated. So I thought that it was because I stopped eating animal products, and my body was just like getting used to it, which there's a ton of studies to say that, yeah, that does happen when you begin a vegan diet. So I was just like, okay, whatever. I'll just continue on. And like, so this was in March, and by like June, I was still super bloated all the time. And by June, I was eating meatless during the week and only had meat on the weekends. I was still eating eggs here and there, but I was just dairy free. I was eating mostly plant-based and all of that. And I would just have meat on the weekends. And then, yeah, and I was like super, super bloated. And I just figured maybe it's because of the green smoothies I was eating in the morning. Maybe because it was the like high amounts of like carb fruits that I was having in the morning. So then in June and like the end of June, mid-July, I started putting chicken back into my diet. And at this point, I wasn't even that comfortable with cooking chicken. So what I just did was I would just throw chicken breast in the in a pot, boil it, and just keep it in the fridge, just because I personally didn't even feel that comfortable with cooking chicken anymore. And I have never felt the way in my entire life. It was the strangest feeling ever, where I was just like, okay, this is weird, but eating the chicken made me leaner. Like, and so I was so lean when I started eating chicken again, and I was eating chicken for, you know, a couple weeks, but it just, you know, once again, it just didn't feel right. So I just went back to eating plant-based, and I did a lot more research this time, watching a ton of YouTube videos, you know, talking to my boyfriend about it, watching documentaries on it and stuff like that. And I realized that I was bloated, not because of what I was eating in the morning or because I wasn't eating meat. I was bloated because I wasn't eating enough. And when you're not eating enough, your body straight up goes into starvation. And so my body was just basically holding on to everything that I was eating, and it bloated me. So when I realized that, I was like, okay, let's try something new. So I just started eating a big lunch. I don't want to say like big lunch, because plant-based foods, as you guys may know, like there's not that many calories in plant-based foods. So I would just eat a huge breakfast. No, I started doing my eating big lunch. So I would still do my smoothies in the morning, and then I would eat like straight up like rice or stuff like that for lunch, and then I would just eat, you know, a big plant-based meal for dinner. And I legit, guys, I feel amazing. And not only do I feel amazing, the bloating is completely gone, and I am regular again in the bathroom, because I suffer, TMI, but I suffer from like legit constipation since I was a kid, and I don't anymore. And I've been doing this since July, since like mid-July, where I came back from a camping trip and completely cut out like all meat. So yeah, so right now I don't want to say that I'm vegan, because I haven't made that animal connection yet, and I honestly don't know if I ever will. But right now I am totally plant-based. Okay, I take it back. I wouldn't say totally plant-based, because it's still so soon for me. I'm not coming out as being plant-based. So like if I'm at a friend's house and they make something and there's eggs in it, because of my cultural background, I cannot just say, no, I don't want to eat your food, because it's instilled in my brain that rejecting someone's food is the most disrespectful thing you can do, just because that's how I grew up and how my family raised me. And so I'm still going through that phase where it's like kind of hard for me to just like tell people like, hey, I don't eat meat anymore, or I don't eat cheese or dairy and stuff like that. So I like today I went to brunch with my friend cooked me brunch, and there was eggs in the pancakes, and I ate the pancakes. So yeah, so I'm not saying that I am completely plant-based. I am just saying like this is where my diet is. I feel full and satisfied most days of the week, and I eat eggs if, you know, like I eat whatever the host is cooking for me. So I'm still trying to work through my brain on how I can make it better for me, where I don't have to just eat animal products when I'm at someone else's house. But all you other Asians out there, I know none of you guys are probably watching me, but do you understand where I'm coming from, where it's like I just cannot just say no to people's food, because to me it's just so disrespectful. But yeah, so that is where my diet is right now, and I feel awesome. I feel fit, awesome, so much energy, and yeah, and I'm gonna start doing what I eat in a day super soon, and I'm super excited because of this new setup that I have. Like, I have lights and stuff, and I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm coming up with like a bunch of recipes that I would like to share with you guys. And yeah, I hope to film soon. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. What should my sign out be? Okay, bye. For real now.